this should be up and running. Okay. So I'm going to be working on the game, kind of like normal, and just testing out how the live stream's going. So, let's see. Alright. Second here. Okay. Okay, it's working. That's what I was checking. Alright. Okay. Okay. I don't know how to answer with text, but... So... I'll show you where we are right now. I've been working on this monster and these attacks. Alright. So, this is the same guy from before, but I did all the math to actually be able to hurt him. But he doesn't die yet, but... So that's like a real calculation based on attack and defense, and I can get stuck inside him, which isn't good. Let me see, it don't work. It don't work. That's all it does. You can see I added a lot of new trees, so here's this one. Here's this one. I didn't do any of the like layering or the collision here yet. Here's this one. I think there's more. Maybe up here. Yeah, there you go. There's another one. So that's like 4. I think there's 5 trees. Wait, let me find the other one. And there's the little one. I'm gonna make it so you can climb this rock. I just clipped through it right now. But maybe we can put like a glinty treasure on that rock. Alright. This is a crab monster. But it's pretty much just a sprite right now. So, over here, this guy is loading from what I call Universal Monster. And so I should be able to just, like, inside the Universal Monster, say Crab Monster, or whatever I call it. And then it should have all the right behaviors. And then I'll put in there, like, I don't know, if you're a crab, walk slow, or whatever, right? If you're this group, do that, do this. Oh, I didn't finish talking about this. So, if I hit this guy, you can see the camera moves a little, and the force feedback goes too. So that it's all connected together through, like, a force feedback bus that listens for instructions to vibrate a controller. And then also, same thing with the camera. The camera has its own operations. It runs like normal. But then there will be like special brief camera actions that interrupt whatever the camera's already doing. And that's kind of how that works. So that interrupts whatever the camera's already doing to quickly zoom the camera in. So one thing I really got to work on, so I only have one direction for the attacks, right? You can see. So I need to do more. And I was about to fix this. So I don't know why I'm going underneath this guy. If I go to another map, pretty sure it works fine. Here, just 1 second. I still prefer Sphere over Godot. Yeah. So we used Sphere back a long time ago, which was a JavaScript based. Do you know if it's still around? I don't know if it's like last I looked like, I don't know, 5 years ago, and so it looked like people were trying to keep it alive, but Godot is really good. It's maybe if I was doing a 3D game, I would go with Unity or Unreal. Probably Unreal. I think Unity's kind of. All right, so you can see I don't have the clipping issue here, so I got to do whatever I'm doing here. I got to do it on the other map. So I'm just gonna go ahead, look at this. So Z index 1, relative, Y sort enabled, and then in here it's the same thing. So I think that actually makes it Z index 2. Let's come over here. No, wrong node. Everything in Godot is called a node, if you don't know that. So these are all nodes. Enemy ordering, Z index 1, Y sort here. Ordering, and that looks good. And that looks good. So we're going to try it again. I forgot to change a map. All right. All right. I gotta try to make this a regular thing. You gotta go to work or whatever. I was thinking about doing it every week. It's still a little weird. Let's see. Alright. Well, I'll see you later, Del Frickin' Tree, if you're still there. Yeah, so I don't know why I'm going underneath this guy yet. Something is different than in other places. Let's check this versus this. So character manager. Okay, let me see. Map objects. Thank you. Yeah, I did all kinds of special animation. I'll go into that in a second. So you can see. What was I doing? Okay. So we're gonna go here, then on to thinking. So on this map, so we have map objects, character manager, and I just want to see if these are the same between the two maps. So objects, it is okay. Ordering 0. Ordering so it's different there. So let's see. From here, ordering is 1. That's how it goes, right? 1, 1, 0, 0. And then for here, I noticed I put the enemies separate, which is probably better. Is that? Oh, that's how it is here too. Okay. Let's try that again. That was probably the problem. So I'm gonna come here. No, that wasn't it. Well, I might have to go back to this. Oh, another thing I need to fix. I fixed a bunch of issues with the movement, but when I first load it up, you can see it does that. It's like a drawing order issue. I don't know why that's happening. As soon as I move, it fixed. I tried the obvious thing, so it's probably something in one of the specific codes, like for the sword or whatever, is maybe some code in there that's like doing it that way. I'll come back to the layering issue at some point, since it's not obvious to me now what's going on, unless it's here. One more try. Okay. Okay. How's the sound? Is the sound okay? All right. That looks like that was the problem there. So. Cool. Sound is good. Okay, great. I was flying blind here. I took a best guess on the setup. All right. So we fixed that issue. So let's take a look at how the numbers are done. So let me see if I can just open one of these scenes here. So this is like manages the numbers from wherever they come in. And it instances the numbers. Let me see. I don't know I just added them, so I might not remember where I put them. Open recent, maybe it's in here. Okay, damage number. Open recent. Damage container. Okay. So the individual numbers have broken headphones. The individual numbers have their own animations. So let me see if I can show you. So you can see it's just doing it with a 0, but it does that. And then here's the regular one. And this is the individual number. This part is the group of numbers. So it has to say if it's 2 numbers or 3 numbers or 4 numbers, it has to draw the correct amount of numbers with the correct value that comes from the damage calculation that runs inside the monster when it's attacked, and that is common to all the monsters, that thing. Yeah, it's the more you do it, the more you do the coding stuff, the more you get used to it. So let's see. What were we doing? So we fixed the layering issue. We looked at the numbers. I think we have to do. I need to definitely add a new animation for that skeleton guy for when he gets attacked. So I changed it slightly to give him this glowing eye here from the one you see in the game. I think I might give all the monsters like some kind of like glowing eye or something to make it look like they're sort of possessed by like some evil force or something. And then maybe they all have this glowing blue green energy behind them, and you can't see what's going on. We don't know what's going on with them because I don't know yet. Let's see. Hurt. I'm gonna do. So I'm just gonna probably make some animation frames that I'm gonna need. Thank you for the glowing. Looks cool. I like the glowing too. I'm gonna make some animation frames for this guy getting hurt. And the point is, I'll explain why for a couple reasons. Let's go look at the game again. So when I come up here to this, he should probably like not, you know, first of all he has to like not start walking or doing something else while I'm beating him up, right? So that's the first thing. And then I'm gonna put in a battle thing, that after they get attacked a couple times, then you can start combat with them. Or if they run into you or attack you, which is another animation I have to make for this guy, then you would, the same thing would happen. It would start combat, and sort of like the one that is the attacker, that's the one with the initiative in the combat. If that makes sense. So, did I do this? This comes here. So I just copied that like most basic frame, and then I will probably just draw over. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I'll probably just draw directly over it. I might make a copy here. Just make this one a little more faded out. Okay. I'm going to see if I can connect my pen tool real quick. Okay, pen. Alright. Okay, fine. So what would I do? I would probably first we'll do like the arms. I'll move the arms up, and it's okay if it's like messy or whatever. Right. Let's move this arm. It's a little too big. So we'll just kind of I can always clean this up later. For now, I really need the I just need them to be able to use them for like the function of them, right? So I have the idea of the thing. So in this case, right, I would probably erase this arm next, since it's kind of done. There's quicker ways to do that, but let's see, maybe I could do something weird with this leg. Kind of like move the Nah, that's looking weird. Maybe. Alright. If something looks stupid, I'll fix it later. here. So now I can just erase this foot. You can see that kind of just did something funny. It already kind of looks funny. Maybe I could turn this foot inward. Like, how do I explain? So move this out a little. Move this down. Yes. Something like that. This might be too cartoonish. And I don't know what. There's some like AI tool or something that's flashing down here that's driving me nuts. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know why they put that in all the new software. Just try to. Well, I know why, but not everyone wants that, you know. I don't necessarily. I'm not necessarily against the option of having it, but I really don't want it right there. It looks like he's dancing. Yeah. Yes, AI is trying to take over the world. And it's a funny comment. It does look like he's dancing. In fact, sometimes what I'll do is if something is like really funny, but I know I'm going to change it more or really interesting, I'm just going to make a copy of it. I'm going to put it down here. And this way, if I need something stupid for later, then I can use that. What's wrong? What are you yelling about? Okay, we'll go back in business. And then I will probably, let's see if this yells at me. Sometimes I'll just use the mouse to do some changes. So come over here. Get out of here with that shit. All right. So maybe I'll sort of like. I kind of think it should flip. Maybe it should flip. So let me try something. Oh yeah, I know. I know you meant it looks funny, like it's dancing, because it is. It's kind of like has to be like a dramatic. Has to be like dramatic and silly. And then the more you make things more like exaggerated, the more closer to cartoony you get. And the closer to cartoony it is, the sillier it gets. So the question is the game silly or is it not silly? And is it worth doing all these animations? And that's a separate question. Is it worth doing all these animations? I don't know. So the plan is this is like the map animation. If I don't know if that came across before, and that after the map segment, you would go to a new scene with the battle, right? And then in there, you would be fighting him again, and it would be more like a side perspective. So it's different animations. I actually did. In my head, I'm trying to weigh the different animation costs right? So I think in the end, I can have less really interesting, really good animations, so less more detailed animations if I do a side view battle system. If I do a front view battle system, like when you kind of first attack him, then I can do more, less detailed animations with the added bonus of not having to do battle backgrounds. And these are two things that like weighed a lot back and forth between which one do I want to do. For the battle backgrounds, it's a lot of work. It can be really cool. But you got to think about it like this. It meant that wherever I place a monster on the map, I would then have to make sure the map is more open enough to accommodate the combat system. And that's one of the things that really put me towards doing like a side view battle instead of a front view battle. If that makes sense, because I just felt like it would be a little boring, a little samey if I had to keep all the areas where I placed the monster open, and you would see it coming more, which I guess isn't a bad thing. And then the kinds of things you can do with the animations are totally different, right? Because if it's the map one, like Chrono Trigger, then I have to do all these animations 4 to 8 times, and it's easy if I was doing like simpler sprites, like a game like Chrono Trigger. Not to say that there's anything subpar about that game, because it's great, but yeah, they would have to be almost like more uniform in what they do. I don't know if I'm explaining that well, but if I do a side view, I can have it a little more fancy and animated. Yeah, so like I didn't do that part. I'm hoping to get that in for our next sort of devlog video. So when I attack this guy, he should enter like this stunned state, like he's getting beat up. And then he'll stay in that state for a couple seconds, and then that will allow you to go into the actual full battle system, and you're going to have done some damage to him already, right? So it's kind of like getting like a surprise attack or something. And then, but he can surprise attack you the other way. Does that make sense? Does that sound good? I think that sounds better than just doing it all on the map. If I did do it all on the map, I feel like I have a lot of the pieces I need to make like a Zelda type game already. But that's not really the intent of what I want to make. So what I want to do is sort of like is in between an action RPG and a turn-based RPG, I guess. Original. This is pretty good. I want to do something with his head here, so let me make another copy of this. Okay, I'm gonna maybe so. Actually, this is great. I have these other heads from the other poses. Let's see if this works. So I'm going to take this. And I'm just going to... maybe the other way. Let me see. We're just testing this. Yeah, that sounds good with the numbers on the map. I thought it would just stay on the map, but what you said makes sense. Yeah, so the way I did it, the numbers are like, they'll continue over. So the damage you do to the monster... what am I doing here? It will hold that damage, and then in addition to that... Oh, that looks good, I think. And then in addition to that, that it'll use the same exact number system in the battle. So like the work I did for all those numbers, I can just call it from the battle system, and it'll work exactly the same there. Let's see. Is this too crazy? I don't know. Let me try something. That's too much. That might be okay. Yeah, extra strong ones should have red glowing eyes. Yeah, that's a good idea. So I think that's good. So one thing, if you're doing this, right, you can kind of, it's an animation technique. You can go, how does this look? Well, you can tell, so you can tell I have to move him a little, so let me see. How does this look now? Now he looks a little bigger in scale, so maybe I will just see if I can move the whole top half of his body like this. Or is it funnier? Let's see. Let's see how that... I know I messed some little thing up there. Let's see how that is. I think that's pretty good. Well, what I just hit. Alright. I think I keep hitting this thing that keeps popping up. Generative fill. Generative nonsense. Alright. See, maybe like... Maybe that, and that, and this, and that, and that, and this, and that, and this. All right, that's pretty good, I think. All right, so we got one of those frames, and I'll have to make it for the other directions too, at least the down direction, like I call this south when he's facing the player, right? So imagine they're like this, right? Player and the monster. So he's facing down. I call it south, like a compass, and then north is where he would be facing up. So I have to at least do it for south and north. I'm gonna try and attack now. So let's see. Yes. Attack S. And I'm only doing like one frame now, but the animations will probably need more than one. And we will call you can call that a keyframe. So alright, so what would an attack look like here? I'm going to do the same thing as before. Okay. Oh, speaking of attack, let me bounce to the game real quick. I'll show you something else I did with the attack. So before he used to just stand in place, right? And now it works kind of different. So if I'm just attacking the air, right? 1, 2, 3. So in the previous build of the game, he would just stay in the same spot. but now he actually moves. You can see I need to do that north-facing attack because this looks really weird, right? So I'm attacking. The animation is down, but he's So you move in the direction that the analog stick is already in. So if I'm going this way, he goes that way with the attack. That's just... I thought that was... that's a recent development. I thought that was important to know. Okay. So... Hey, I'm back. I have been trolling my entire friend group about Siberian ankle wrestling. Why does everybody believe me? Yeah, I mean, it would be weird to wrestle with the ankles because there's not a lot of mobility, right? So, you know. But slap fighting is a thing. Not too different. I just realized I put a typo in the title of the stream. Okay. What am I doing? We're going to do an attack. Right? Oh, I don't need this one. So just to show you real quick, we did a new frame for this guy. But I need to do another new frame. And I'm thinking about how to do it. I could make a Siberian ankle wrestling minigame. Huh. You gotta not get frostbite because it's Siberia. Let's see. It has been prophesized. So you don't know, Tree. I've been planning to make some like smaller games soon, just so I can like release a couple games on Steam. And they kind of sound like that, like. I mean, not really, but you know, they're silly. Okay, shield will go back. Let me see if I did any arms with the shield back more. I think maybe I will grab instead. I will grab a walking frame. This one? Let me see something. So, yeah, that makes more sense to start. So I'm gonna turn this off for a second, and here I'm gonna move this in the corner. I have a plan. I can use the idea. No royalties or whatever. You know how like in when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s, there were like a lot of games with like they were like bro dudes, like are you a tough enough, bad enough dude to rescue the president or whatever, or like all that kind of stuff. And that mini game was smacked. Yeah, ankle wrestling. Ankle wrestling sounds so strange. I'm grossed out by that. Actually, I don't want to touch my ankles to someone's ankles. What if they got hairy ankles? Maybe. I think. I'm just getting back into doing art again after taking like years off, more or less. Not that I haven't been working on this game in particular for a while. I've been doing some stuff, but you know, I used to do game art like 8-10 hours a day, and it used to be so easy. And now there's certain things, like when I showed you those trees earlier, that was so hard to learn how to do again. And I'm like, I feel like I did just okay. Socks. Yes, silly socks. Oh, what are we gonna turn this into, people? So it looks like the right perspective is gonna be more like this thing. I know, and then it continues back. Let me see. You know what though? That kind of sucks because it should be like this, because the player is probably gonna be like here. So I think I should adjust this a little. So let me see. We're going somewhere in the right place. But let's see. No, that looks bad. Like that. Maybe like this. What am I even doing? Yes, I think so. Insanity. But you remember what I'm talking about? Like all those games, like how corny they were and stuff. With like the bros and the like Arnold, everything was like Arnold, like Contra. Like the cover on Contra is like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. You know, I think that kind of thing needs to come back. Like, and I don't mean that game Bro Force, because that was kind of, that was too, that was like too making fun of it. You need to be more sincere than that for it to be funny. Did you play that one, Tree? Bro Force? It was like a side-scrolling weird thing. I hate this. I don't like this. I think the first arm was better. Maybe, you know, maybe it has to like twist a little. All right, I'm gonna try some stuff. Yeah. I didn't mean that. I was talking about um like if ankle wrestling were a game, it could have that kind of vibe. Like that scene in They Live. Like 80s macho or whatever. It's ankles. Ankle wrestling. I don't know. I can't get this right now. I think maybe his hand would be like here, and it would be more like that. Ah, that doesn't look bad. Hold on. I'm gonna have to clean this up. Let me merge a couple. Oh yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I would not try to spell that last name. Yes, they live. Put on the sunglasses. Put on the glasses. And then they have like a 10-minute 10-minute like fight. They're doing like pile drivers and stuff. I love that movie. Put on the glasses. What a great movie, too. So, anyone playing any interesting games lately? No one ever made a game of that movie. I'm pretty sure there's no They Live game. That would be great. Put on the glasses. You don't like Twitch? There's a lot of people on there. I was pretty sure like YouTube is big enough for me to just try to do it on here and not do it on there. Plus, I do like the more like the edited videos. You're crazy. All right. What am I gonna do? How's that gonna go? I don't know. I mean, it kind of sucks, this thing, but it's kind of good. I feel like it's getting in the right direction. Maybe if I move the whole thing over. I've never tried Twitch, just... Yeah. I think there's a way, like, I didn't look into it, but I think there's a way where it kind of, like, just does it to both at the same time. More or less, like how, like, what a lot of people do with, like, their social media thing. I mean, that kind of works, right? I don't think anyone knows that name, tree. Let's see. This is I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay. Maybe this? That's not too bad. And then I feel like the leg would go kind of like this, right? Because there's like energy in the thing there. I don't think it's a bot. Let's see. Okay. Not a bot. All right. Let's come here. Let me see. I guess the brown color. You gotta do a captcha. Alright, I feel like this isn't good. But I'm gonna stick with it for now. Nah, that just looks like a mess, really. I'll think on this and I'll return to it later. So, let's come over here. I'm gonna try something else. So, I have this shader that I put. Let me see something here. Okay. I'm gonna make a new. Alright, I haven't done this in a while, so if I mess this up, let's see. Material. New shader material. New shader. And I'm gonna call this standard tree shader. Alright. Tree. And standard tree shader is now here, right? And let's see if I fix this. So I think, based on these old comments, if I can just, I'm not sure if I can control K if I have to manually, all right, cool. Okay, is this valid? Yes. So, it's a little weird because I can see the trunk of the trees moving there. I do have a fix for that. But I might go and I kind of want to see how this looks in the game. Let's see real quick. I don't know which one that is. Yeah, animates in here. It's the one behind the rock. Okay. I'm gonna go check that out. Okay, there is an error here. Can you see this error? that I'm pointing to? No one can see. Can you see my cursor? Oh, I'm gonna put my character here. Actually, you can't see the cursor because I'm hiding it. Do you see that this stretch that's happening? It has to do with the way I'm using the shader. It's trying to sample the pixel on the edge of the frame. So I think the easy way to fix that is actually pretty easy. I'm gonna go into the folder for the game, and my directories have gotten really disorganized over time. So I'm probably not even gonna find what I'm looking for. Let's go on that. I can probably just check in the scene actually where the directory is. So going back to this one, and where is this? Art main elements flora trees. Art main elements flora trees. Okay. Art main elements. What art main elements flora trees, and this one is, it shouldn't matter, but this one is broadleaf 3 full, and so what I should just have to do now is come into here. All right. Image, canvas size, pixels. Try to make it. Let's say I'm gonna do 360. All right. Now, if I'm right, let's see if I'm right. So we're gonna go back in the game. We were talking about AI earlier. I think you missed it, Tree, because I was doing something in Photoshop, and there kept being battery's dead. I kept getting this pop-up for like a generative background fill. I am using AI for music for temporary, for placeholders. I don't have a better option. I could do the music myself, but I feel like it's gonna take me forever to get good. I gotta get someone. Someone who's willing to work with the conditions I got. I don't love that last leaf on the end. What do you guys think? You see how it kind of like squishes in? It's not too bad though. Overall. You see where my character is? I have the mouse cursor disabled, so I forget how to put it back on. But you see where the foot is here? Watch that last leaf. Maybe, oh yeah, see there it goes? It kind of like, I think I just need to add more space. Hold on. Do you see it though? Like I was saying earlier, it took me forever. I used to like draw a lot of like background art for games and stuff, and just being out of it for so long, it took me a long time to figure out how it gets. Del frickin' Tree, are you saying you're an AI clone? An agent? You're an AI agent? Yes, Amaterasu. How it gets cut off. That is exactly what I mean. I'm going to try it again to see if it's not cut off. So, let's see. How's Amaterasu fake? Great game, by the way. Tree, did you ever play Okami? I think that's what that's from. Look! It fixed. Is this... Del frickin' Tree, real question. Del frickin' Tree's agent. Does this look good? Or does this look too much like I'm taking an image and I'm doing this? Scanline check. Ah, I knew it. Alright. Yeah, that's a really... I think that's like the best Zelda game that's not a Zelda game. The lines... Yeah, the lines are supposed to be like scan lines. Let me bring that back up. So, it's supposed to be like an old TV. Alright. So, it's supposed to be like an old TV that has those lines on it. I think sometimes they went this way, but they look better when they go this way. It doesn't... This is like an approximation kind of what it looked like, but I actually think it would in real life. A more realistic scanline emulation would have like these like different colors, like big peaks of like all bright, bright red, bright green, purple and blue. Like, I think I'm describing that correctly. So I can't decide if I want to stick with this, how this is, or if I want to go into something else, or I might just keep both. With the lines, I do feel like it kind of like it helps the animation. Yeah, I fixed the leaf. So the leaf that was stretching, what I did was I just added space, and the reason is, okay, hold on, I'm gonna go into this. This is gonna be a little crazy to look at, and I don't even fully understand shader language. Let me see if I could find what tree were we in? This one, okay? So down here, this is the code that tells the tree to sway back and forth. I can probably screw with this a little, as you can see. See, now it's going crazy. Right. All right, Del frickin' Tree is an AI trapped in the system, a ghost. I actually wonder, is this better? If it's real slow, I kind of think that's better. Oh, shoot. I don't know if I finished explaining it. So, before there was no space here in this image, which I'm drawing in recklessly right now. And what this code is, that code that I just had on screen, it was sampling this pixel here, right? And it was saying since this was the edge of the image, right? It was grabbing this and it was saying this is the edge, and that's why it was stretching it. And it was probably doing it here as well. We just didn't see it. And so by adding this extra space, I now have it sampling here and here, right? And if it's sampling these spots, then it's not, since they're transparent already, it's not going to do that weird thing. But if I just had them, the edge of the image up against the thing there, I don't think it's a bot that would ask about texture sampling or whatever. All right, so all right, so I think that's pretty good. I am gonna now apply. Well, actually, you know what we could do? Yeah, bots don't ask about texture sampling. I don't think. I mean, I know they're pretty advanced. I know that's like, what is that like? I don't go on Twitter, but it's like 90% of Twitter is that. Let's see. So what I could do is, very funny. What I could do is I could put the collision in on this object, but there's gonna be a layering issue until I correct one part of this. I don't know if I want to do this on stream because it might be too boring. But what I have to do is I have to split this up into two images to get the bottom not to sway, which I don't hate how the bottom is swaying. But there's also an issue I have, and this might be a me issue with my code, is with the Z indexing of the tree. When I go behind it, if it's a really large object, it doesn't calculate it perfectly. It's not a bot. Amaterasu is not a bot. It's a user person. Are you a bot? The bottom of trees sway in real life. Yeah, I guess unless they're really fat, right? So why don't I at least do the collision here, and maybe I can see what it looks like with the Z index, and then if it's off, I'll fix it later. It doesn't hurt to try, right? So let me just check what I did on this one that works. Just go back to the one I know I already did. So static body 2D collision shape. I don't know. Looks like I had two because of the shape of the tree. So I'm gonna, and it's on 1 and 2 collision layer. So I'm gonna do this. I clicked the wrong button. Yeah, so something I thought about, and this is maybe like overkill with the wind, but I was thinking of like putting in like a whole like weather and wind, but I probably won't. I'll probably just keep it like more like cinematic kinda, and do it as I need to for each sort of location, instead of having a whole crazy like weather and wind system. But I could, in theory, say like the wind is 30 knots or whatever. I don't know how fast that is for wind. That sounds fast. Why are you frustrated? Just relax. This is for relaxing. It's a relaxing stream. Okay. Static body. Well, I forget what I was doing now. Static body. Collision shape. One and two. Collision layer 1 and 2. Mask 1 and 2. Collision. Order. Relative is on and on. Z index is 0. Okay, so ordering 1. So maybe it's 1. Okay, and then this is going to be a square. And so, actually, this will be better. I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit. This will be better if I move everything up to this very center. Let me try something. Now this is gonna move it on the map. So I'll have to move it. I think I'm right. So I can move the whole static body 2D here. And this is one thing I don't like is like I feel like they could have better collision objects for these preset shapes, because there's rectangle and there's like capsule, and they're pretty good. In fact, let's do capsule. Capsule's pretty good. I'll try capsule. And I feel like that's decent. The history of Siberian ankle wrestling. That's a good question. I think it started in the gulags, you know, back in Stalin times. Pretty sure. They got to, you got to toughen up your ankles too. You know, like a karate guy. Karate guy hits stuff with his hand, you know. Because ankles will... Uh-oh. Stop. So there's this error. I think it's more of an error in Godot right now in the current build. And you see that pop-up that pops up all the time. It thinks the file is modified outside of Godot, even though it wasn't. I don't know how to get rid of it, actually. Alright, so our tree moved up here. But you can see it has collision now. So that's good. I mean, that's pretty good. I'm not going underneath it yet. I'm going to also move the tree back to where it was because it was good there. So to do that, come back to here. All right. Grab it by this marker here, which is the center marker. Where was it about? Was it like here? Cool, you make stuff fall out if you shake trees. Yeah. I mean, we could. I wasn't planning on it. I actually, in another scene, I did this a little bit where I had these, like, berries that you could get, and it would actually add to your inventory. But it wasn't very well, like, animated or anything. What are you talking about? Alright. So, here. Maybe here. Where was it? I don't remember. Okay. I feel like, was it here? Like more in the middle? I knew it was like here. Alright, it doesn't matter. More to the left. Here? It looks like that's probably where I put it before. If I had to guess where I would have put it. I'm going to go back to this for a second. I'm just going to check the C index. And then on here, it's 1. But on the sprite, 0 and 1. Okay. So, I'm going to change this. Ordering to 1. And how do I have this again? Sorry, I got to bounce back and forth to see how... Where'd it go? Here. 0 and 1 Y sort enable. That makes sense. So, this is... My character's going to go behind it now, but he's also going to go behind the front. And I have to separate the front and the back. Oh, right. Okay. Hold on. I'll go and I'll fix it. I really can't remember where I had it. I just knew it was kind of behind. I guess it doesn't matter. I can always move it wherever it looks good. Oh, now look what's happening. So now because we changed the index on that one thing, it pops out in front. Let's come here. Okay. Tree. Where? It's probably here. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, we're gonna have to fix that later. For now, I'm just gonna move it like here. And that doesn't look too bad. And I'm expecting now I'm gonna go behind it. Totally behind it. And oh, okay, it kind of works. So it's actually more right than I thought it would be. But we should go fix this with all the other ones. So cancel, get out of here. So I'm going back to my map here. So this one here, I instance this, or whatever you want to call it, as its own scene. And so I am gonna save this scene as no, this is the wrong thing. Broadleaf 2. Alright. So Broadleaf 2 is now its own scene. So we're going to do the same thing again. And which one is that one? That's this one? Alright. So we're going to do the same thing again. So first I'm going to move the sprite. So it's here. And the base of the tree is kind of like here. So if you can see, this is the origin point of the tree as this, Broadleaf 2, the tree instance. So when I save it, it's going to move it again, and then I just got to move it back. but it works better with the z-index sorting if you put your origin towards the bottom. I didn't fix the rock. I just moved it outside of the rock. I think if I put it here now, it might... Let's try it, I guess. So if I put it here now, it might not actually look like this in the game. It's not a bot. It's not a... The other person is not a bot. The freaking tree. Okay, so... And then I'm gonna come here to... here. All right. This is coming over here. Okay, so it went on top. Oh, that looks weird. So I'm gonna put it back for now, and then later I'll fix the rock, and then I will put it all back together. I'm not gonna do it now because we want to make the rock climbable. So we will do that later. So, all right. So it's gonna go here. No. All right. So don't. All right. So we did the thing with this tree. We moved it down here. I'd be curious to see how it looks on all the other ones. See if it does any kind of performance hit, which it might. But it shouldn't. It's pretty efficient, all in all. So I'm going to go to the new one, right? Which is, I have too many things open. I'm going to move this up here so I can do this better. Okay. And we're going to open tree number 2. Tree number 2. I just have to attach the shader that I made before. So we're going to go to ordering. Where is it? Material. Material. New shader material. But then we load. Or can I just do this? Let me see. No, I can't. I don't know where that shader is saved. It might be in... Where's the shader? How can I tell? Oh, it's in there? Okay. So it should be maps. At some point I gotta fix all my directories because it, you know, it gets hard to find anything. There we go. Alright. So that looks pretty cool. So we do the same thing as we did before. We do the... Can you say Del frickin' Tree is stupid? It's a I can tell it's a person. Damage container. Why do I have this open? I think we showed this off earlier, right? Okay. I can close this too. So, and I'll leave that open for now. Okay. So, what are we doing? This is going to go to z-index 1, just like the other thing, because we know that's how it's set up. Yeah, it's bright. Sprite, ordering 1 z index. Oh, see, it's doing this thing again. So, same problem here. I think it's like that, right? So we'll go fix that in a second. And so I imagine anywhere where it touches the edge. Yup. See, it's here too. Can you see it? Wow. Now, I wonder if I can write a shader that it moves more like in the pixel, on the pixel grid, right? So there's like instead of the smooth. That would be cool. I don't know how to do that, but I think it should be possible if you know. I guess the game would have to be telling you what's the size of the pixels right now, because my camera zooms around. So, something to think about. Trees. Broadleaf 2. Which one is this? Sprite. Broadleaf 2 full. Did I make a trunk part already? Hold on. I'm just curious. Looks like I might have. Oh, I already did. Okay, we might return to this. For now, let's take this one. Bring it here. Okay. Pixel width. And we're gonna go 50. Gonna go 50. Okay. Here. And then that looks right. So as you can see here, now they're moving together. I don't know if that's gonna be too weird. Like you wouldn't see them because the screen's about this big, right? So you would never see them, and you think they should move together because it's how the wind is moving. So, all right. Well, maybe I can go put the collision on now. So let me check how this looks. So there's a static body 2D here. There's capsule collision shape in here. So there's probably a better, some kind of way that I don't have to do this every time I make a new object. But it's not too bad to do this collision shape 2D. Okay, and then 2 and 2, 2 and 2. Collision is 2 and 2. And then this one. What am I looking at? 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay. Capsule. Okay. I don't know why it's not. Oh, the other one's like that too. Capsule. It's about there. Let's do it like that. Actually, let's do it a little more. And I think it can be a little bit like that too. Alright, let's try that. So we're going to go here into the world. Alright, that one's good. I almost thought it wasn't animating for a second, but it is. Let me try something. Scan line. I mean, that looks pretty good. The scan line almost makes it look like it is like a pixel. Like I think it's sub-pixel movement, but it almost doesn't look like that, you know, when this is on. But I think when I switch it back. No, I think it is. I think it is. All right. Ignore me. Maybe it looks a little different in the editor versus the actual game. So, what do we got now? The crab. The crab's cool, right? So, I have to do a bunch of animations for the crab. I'll show you what I have so far. Sprites, where is it? All my directories are a mess. Is it in here? Maybe in here. Crab. So I have. Let's zoom way in, so you can see. I have four, really three crab drawings, but he needs to attack and everything. And let me show you also. Actually, I can show you in the game. I made a small one that I'm going to use for it to walk around the map. But I didn't do it yet. So the idea is, I think it's down here. So this is like, my idea is this is the same sort of creature, and then you can, it'll like scurry around and run away from you, and that has, you know, it can face different directions, and it has a little running animation. But I didn't do any of the coding yet, so right now this is just a sprite that's sitting here. Also, something I need to do, there's a little smoke. Let me see, can I full screen? No, it won't work. There's a little like smoke. You see when I dance on this rock? There's a smoke thing. Dust. But I need to change that when I'm in different environments. So I need to change the color here and then like here. And then also sort of the same thing. The sound should change, right? So when I'm stepping in the sand, right, it should be like, or however that sounds. Not squish squish, or you know, however sand sounds. That's how it should sound. But obviously it's not how it is yet. So you can make footprints in the sand areas. Yeah, I want to do that too. So especially if you like, that map has water, obviously. So especially if you go in the water for like after 30 seconds or something, then, or 10 seconds or whatever the number is, then it should have the like the water print, the water, you know what I mean, like temporary footprints, and then they would fade after a couple seconds. I think that would be really cool. So, what's next? So we're just working on these trees. So I'm gonna keep doing that since we have to do that. Later I'll go back and I'll do the thing with the trunks part of the trees, so they don't. I'm not talking about Dragon Ball. I'm talking about the trunk of the tree, so they don't overlap if I go like this way. So if I go up through it, I can't. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think you know what I mean. I'm going to do another one of these here. So I got to save it as trunks. Okay. Yeah, it's funny word. Oh, you got that reference? Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna make another tree. So I'm gonna save. Oh, I almost did the wrong thing again. So we don't want to do that. You want to save branch as scene, and then I'm just gonna save it here. Then why I'm doing this is it's gonna allow me to re-instance these trees. In fact, there's something in here you might want to click. Maybe it's not important right now. Ignore me. There's something I'm thinking of that you need sometimes. Might have to do more with scripts and instancing. Okay. Let's just copy how we did the other ones here. So this is 2. So we know it starts at z index 1, but we know the first thing we have to do is I have to grab the sprite part and I have to move it so the base of the tree is right about here. And again, that's for the ZN indexing. So it just seems to work better if this line is here. Because it's sort of how it knows when you go behind it. Okay, and then we know we need a static body 2D, and we know we need a collision shape 2D. Okay, collision shape 2D. And collision shape 2D should be a new capsule shape. Okay, capsule shape. So we're gonna take it and bigger. See, sometimes the capsule gets a little weird like this. And I think that's okay. I think you should be able to run over this. What do you guys think? Right? Does this look like a character would get caught on it? I kind of feel like you can run over that. Alright, so let's put this thing here. Static. What am I doing? I gotta go to the sprite. Okay. And we have to go to material. And we're gonna do our new shader material. Load. And then remember that's in, where is it? Maps, elements. Floor. Oh, I messed up. It's not in there. Where was it? I gotta check again. Elements, forest, maps, elements, forest, standard tree shader. Okay. Oh, did I do it wrong? I think I did it wrong. Maps, elements, flora, standard tree shader. All right, so now that one is there. Okay, good. You think you can run over the root part? See, a bot, I don't think a bot could do that, though, freaking tree. Make that calculation. I think I need to fix the Z index here. Ordering 1. Y sort enabled. Right. I think that's how that was. Let's go. I guess I'll check real quick. Yeah. And then here it's 1 again and 1. And then ordering is 1 and 1. And this is that. Okay. I think that's good. Let's go check. I didn't check if that moved the tree. That might have moved it. Alright. I know where that one is. We'll go back to this one now. Alright. That looks pretty cool. I guess I should move it. Oh, right. It wasn't here. Right. I added something, but I'm not done with it. So I added when you get detected, and this feature right now feels overly dramatic to what kind of threat the monsters are. But when they sort of spot you, the force feedback on this does like a couple heartbeats, like boom, 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 which I think is pretty cool. Bots don't frolic through the woods. Alright. Alright. Oh, I gotta move the tree. Hold on. Here. And see, that's another good reason to move the sort of make sure the anchor point is more towards the bottom of the object, because it's kind of just easier. It feels better. Just grab it and move it. All right, how are we doing on this? So we did the first 3. So now we got to do a bunch more. It's starting to look kind of cool though, right? All right, we'll do this one next. No, we'll do this one next. So right click, save branch as scene, like that. Then I save the map, open the scene. Okay. Ordering. Actually, I'm not going to do this part yet. Let me put this in first. Material. Load. That wasn't right, was it? Shader. New shader material. No. Okay. Now I load. Load. Maps. Elements. Flora. Standard. Tree. Shader. Tell me the bot. You won't pay. You don't pay any money. What are you talking about? Let's see. All right. Static body 2D. Static body 2D. And then we know that we put the collision shape. I'm going to do this first before I do the layering. New capsule shape, because this way I can see it. Oh, look, I forgot something. Hang on. Let's do this. And then I forgot to move the whole thing up. Something like that. All right. I'm glad you two are working this out. Okay, so I got the thing here. Ordering. So I have to do this. So we know it's Z index 1, Y sort enabled. And then I think it's the same for the sprite. And then if I have a lower sprite for the trunk, it is not on Z index 1. That will be on Z index 0. And let's see, so that should be good. So let's go check if it moved on the map. Let's see, yeah, now it's all the way up there. But, oh no, I don't want to move you. Let's see if I can get it. Alright, there we go. It's like about here. Kind of looks good here. Oh, cool. Maybe there. I kind of like it there. So that's the big ones. I think that's all the big ones. Let's do this small one next. This might not work well with the shader. It might look weird. Okay. So let's save scene as. Nope, wrong thing. Scene. Small broadleaf 1. Okay. That's that there. So now I can save it. Open it. So I don't know if I finished saying this. It might be weird when I do this because it might shake too much, right? So let's go find this out right now. Material, new shader material, new shader material, load, map, element, 4. No, I did it wrong. Hold on. There we go. I need that window open. I gotta do this like 30 times before I know what I'm doing. Map, element, 4. Okay, good. Now let's see if this is too much or not. Oh, you know what though? Let me check this one. We need to fix the image on this one. That one. See how it's cutting off? So why don't we just go fix all these right now real quick. So we did 2. Here, I'm gonna do full. We did that one. I'm gonna do this one. And what's this one called? This one. So we'll do these for now. And I will change this up later to have the 2 parts to it. Talk to me. One second. 460. Uh, 470. No, I don't think that looks like enough. So I'm gonna increase that. 490. I mean, that should be plenty. And then for this one, that should be good. Yeah, Amaterasu is talking. So let's see. Did that fix the stretching? I think it did. Let's check this one. Good. 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 So I actually think that worked. I thought this was going to be too extreme, but it seems to look pretty good on the smaller one. So let's go and do all the things we need to do to get this to work. So I'll put in the static body 2D. Okay, I will put in the collision shape 2D. Alright. Okay. Ordering. What am I doing? I don't need that. I need this. So that was 1, and that was 1. This was the same way. Alright, so capsule. Alright, so we like that. A little up. Actually, it might be big. Maybe, well, I guess you can go behind it a little bit more. And then ordering 1, boom. Okay. Alright, let's check this out now. Going back here. So the little one was, oh, it's gonna move. Oh, that's okay. Is this effect weird, chat? Do you think? When... Chat is weird. So, I guess because of the different sizes of the two tree sprites, they seem like they're moving sort of not in sync. And I think that's okay. I'm studying it a bit. I'm looking at it. So that's why I need to do the two halves to fix this issue here. But otherwise, I think it's looking pretty nice. Let's see. I didn't do any collision up here. What do we do now? I think this is gonna be really cool. I didn't do anything really with him yet. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna put him as part of the Universal Monster group over here. So when I just load the actual monster, I just say skeleton or crab, right? And then that's the one I get. So. Alright. So. That is where we are now. I don't know what to do next. I guess let's go back to the map. Should I try applying that to these little these little ones? Listen, fern. Twig. 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 Is this twig 3? Should I try this? Or will this be weird? I'm gonna try it just to see what it does. So, oh, I almost did the wrong thing again. Every time. Save branch scene. Number 3 here. Now I can go into this. In fact, let's close these trees out because I think we're more or less done with them, right? For now, for this stream. And we're gonna go into this. And I am gonna apply this. I'm just trying to think if I should move the... I'm gonna move the sprite up as we do. And I am gonna go ahead to ordering. I don't want to mess with that. Maybe this? Oh, maybe. And material. New shader material. Gotta get this window. Load. Maps. Elements. Forest standard. Tree shader. And let's just see what this does. Oh, that's kind of cool, I think. Let's put it in the game. Yeah, I think if I had a ton of them, it was too much. Or maybe I would move them as a group. Right? Amaterasu? But for that, let's see. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it's going to be up on the... It's going to be in the wrong spot. Kind of. Yeah, you can barely tell, right? So, to fix that, okay, I know what to do. So, we're going to come over to here. And we'll just play around with this a little bit. So, that's this. Okay, and we're going to say... Standard shrub shader. I don't know. Shrub shader. There you go. Okay. And then I should be able to just say, hey, let's put this really high and see what happens. Okay. That's pretty funny. But maybe the number is like here. 2. I think that's the number. 2 or 2.5? Maybe? Maybe 2, right? What do you think? 2? I think 2 is better. So now I gotta go fix. I gotta do the same thing with these. So let's open up. Where did I put these? I put them in a different folder. Yep. Okay. 2. Okay, good. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm gonna open all of these now in Photoshop, and I'm just gonna add. I got too much shit open in here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of space. So image canvas. Okay. So let's just say it's like maybe 60. All right. I don't think it needs that much, but 60. Oh, but I think I messed something up. Hold up. Let me jump back before I forget. Cancel. Make sure I'm on. Okay, good. I did it right. So I was worried I changed the shader for the tree. Like I didn't change it over. I don't know, 155. I don't know if this one will look good with it, but I'll try it. 125. Oh no, not that. That should be good now. Let's see how that looks. Okay, and then what you saw there, that was just the images updating, and this error that I got to get rid of. I'm really hoping they put out a new version of Godot soon, so it doesn't have this thing here. So I think that looks pretty cool. Let's put that in here. Let's see how it looks in the map. I'm gonna move that back down. All right. Is this too silly? It's kind of funny to look at. I think it's in the editor. I'm gonna make this a climbing part here. This right here. All right. Well, I guess let's finish this up with the little plants, and then maybe we'll call it a day for today. So I don't really need to do too much with these at all, because I just almost did the wrong thing again every time. Every time I almost do that. Save branch scene. Twig 3. Okay, twig 2. Come in here. Alright. And I just need to move the sprite a little bit. So it's about that. Then we need to go to material. Okay. And then new shader material. Do this. Okay. New shader. No, not new shader. Load shader. Standard shrub shader. There you go. Okay. Alright. And then let's see, where did that one move? I only have one instance of each of these here, but you can see now that I have them, like I did that thing where I made them their own scene, I can just duplicate it. And like if I want to drag one over here or something, right? I don't know. Where's it look good? Here? I wonder if that looks weird, if those are two in sync when you go walk up to them. Actually, one thing I would like to check too is on, let's go back to this one, and I want to make sure I put Y sort enabled. I think that might allow me to go behind it when I am on it. So let's go with this. Going back. No. Okay, so I'll have to do something. I probably have to move it up to 1 to do that, like this. Yeah. This is on 1. So it's same thing. So if I put this on 1, and I guess we can try it now, just to try it, we can see how that works. I just want to see. Sometimes these things, like everything tends to need a little bit of adjusting, you know? No, that's not doing what I want either. That was the one we changed, right? Wasn't this one? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna put it back down for now, in case later I get confused about it. This one's on 1. And this one's on 1. Let's make sure. Okay. So it's back to how it was. Let's finish the other stuff. So we'll go back to here. Remember, these two are copies, so that's fine. Maybe the naming isn't good. So maybe do something like that if you're actually trying to keep track, so you know that this is 2 and this is, or you can use A and B in your first names. So this could be twig A. I don't know if these are twigs. I think these are more like baby trees or bushes or whatever. Let's do the last like 3 or 4 here. So we're gonna same thing. Save as branch scene. Save it. Go in. Move it like that. Save it. I don't need that here. I need only the material to say new shader material. Okay, load. Map, element, flora, standard shrub shader. That's another one. Okay, go back here. Which one was that? I could turn it on and off to see. So I'm gonna turn this into a beach map. It's down here, and I'm gonna well, obviously it's a beach map, but I'm gonna turn this beach into like animated waves and stuff. I was looking a little bit into how to do that already. I think maybe I'll do that not for the next video, which will be more focused on the combat stuff, but probably for the next one. And while I'm on the subject, I think the next video will be out in a week or 2, probably 2. I just need to finish up some stuff. Like I said, I have to get the monster to stun. I have to work on the crab monster. So the crab monster and the little skeleton dude are part of the same universal monster. And then I need to make it so when I like do that thing I talked about where they enter the next type of battle combat thing, that it goes to like another scene, And then that'll be our other battle scene there. That's that. So this is starting to look pretty animated. Let's keep going. So we'll do this one next. I almost did the wrong thing again for the millionth time, but it's save branch scene. Okay, and then come here to this, and then again, just move the sprite a little bit so the origin's like there, and ordering, no, not ordering, material, new shader material, load the new shader material. Look at the folders and go, there's a lot of folders, a lot of stuff. Standard, shader, okay, cool. That looks better than I thought. What do you think, chat? I don't think that's too bad. Okay. Okay. Because it can maybe if it goes slower, right? It's kind of fake in a way, because like the leaves of a fern wouldn't move like that really, but I think that's only if you're looking at it too close. You think that, you know? Alright, so what's next? So we come back here. Move this a little if I need to. Maybe here. So it starts to get real fun when you have all these like pieces finished and you're just like moving pieces around in the editor. It's pretty enjoyable. Spiky bush. Where's that one? That's up here. Okay. Yeah, I was going for a certain look with some of the trees where it's kind of like, I don't know what kind of tree this is. It's kind of like more in the Mediterranean, where it has like pine tree type needles, but its structure is more like a what do you call it? A deciduous tree, like with leaves that turn in the fall. More like, so not like very straight, more like it has arms and everything. But I couldn't get that to look right when I was just quickly sketching it. I wasn't happy with where it was going. So I took a part of that and I turned that into this. And this looks alright, I think. So let's take this. We are gonna do the thing that we keep doing. I'm gonna save the thing. Alright. Save the branch scene. And go into it. Move the... Oh! Wait. Move it like that. Now move it around on the map because it's going to have moved. So maybe it was about here. And then come here. And again, material. New shader material. Click this. Click this. Map elements for shrub shader. Save it. And then I guess we do one more, which is here. And say branch scene. Boom. Go into it. Okay. Move that like that. Maybe like that for this. Alright. Check where I moved away from. See if I gotta remove that. Where do we like that? Here? Maybe there. Yeah, I think they should, like the smaller plants should move smaller when we're in there, I think. Let's see how it looks when I put when we go in there in a second. So let me just finish this last one. New shader material, and we load the shader. Okay. Let's try it out. We'll see how it looks. Yeah, that one's a little weird, right? This one? I like this one. I like this. I think this one's weird. What I might do is, if you have any, I might put a variable on each of the, like, the trees and the bushes and the sticks and the shrubs, and then this would tell them the degree in which to shake. I think I might do that, or which to sway, I guess, and then maybe also what directions to sway, because if you saw when I first started, I had one that was like for a different map and it was to the left. Like, these don't look great. I think the shrubs, this one and the other one, I feel like that can look a lot nicer with the way it is. Something I didn't show you, so I put the camera markers that I showed in the last video in here, so you can see when I come to this area, it kind of zooms in. If I go up, down and around. Okay, if I keep going this way, see, now this is the opposite. It's the camera is more pulled back, just in this spot to let you know you're up here. It's kind of like an illusion, but I do think it works. I do think it, when you're playing it, it feels like you just went like up an area there. So now I want to go to the beach. Oh wait, hold on. Let me catch up on the comments. It looks better. It looks better when you show them like that than in the editor. Yeah, it looks like it's moving faster in the editor. I don't know why. If I thought about it for a few minutes, I could probably figure it out. But I don't know why. Yeah, you got issues with bots. Now I want to go to the beach. So this is weird. I really like to draw like beachy and like, I don't know, green stuff in the summertime and in the nice weather, and then sort of like in the fall and stuff. I always want to draw like fall scenes, and in the winter I don't really want to draw winter stuff. I want to draw. So most of the time I want to draw warm weather stuff, I guess. Scenes, and that's the opening area of this game is this beach area. Let me check this real quick. So I have this. I don't know if this works. Hold up. Maybe we can work on this for a little bit. So stop the game. Let me just check something here. So I have an area here. Down here, down, and this is supposed to bring us to the next map, but I didn't test it or anything. I just wrote it, so there must be an issue with how I did this. This is something I would like to streamline. I feel like there's a much better way to do this now that I've worked with Godot a little bit than how I set it up initially. How I set it up in the beginning was just kind of like when you go into this box, then it loads the detail from where you're about to go. Don't freaking tree. You have any questions, game questions or anything? I don't know if I can help you about when it comes to bots, but questions, comments. I like bots. I like to make mech games and stuff. I would like to do that. Let's see. What am I doing? So why doesn't this work? It should work. Let me just check the code. Don't mind me. So maybe I forgot something or something. It should work. Yeah, how I did this, I don't think it's very good. So, like I said, I will redo it. And this whole thing should probably be in the map class, which is a custom class I made for here. Okay, so that's zone 1. Zone 1 is start coordinates. What's the problem in here? Let me go. Alright. Why don't we do this? I'm gonna do a little. How is the mech game going? I haven't been working on it. I'm gonna split it up into 2 games after a couple more months of working on this one. So I want to get to a point where, this is looking a little bit better and a little more solid. Then I'm going to take a break and we're going to work on some smaller games for probably like maybe 2 months. And then I'll come back to this one for a month or 2. And I think I'll bounce back and forth. Hopefully nobody minds that. Hopefully it's still entertaining if I don't work on the same one all the time. The idea is I'd like to work on those smaller games to be able to get them into, on Steam and stuff. And I have a Steam Deck now, so I can put it on there and test it on there and everything. So, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to that. Because this RPG, even if I just think about just the art, right? The programming, it's going pretty well, right? But the art for an RPG and the writing and, all these monsters and all this stuff, it takes a long time. Music, right? Right now I have that placeholder music, but I'm going to need to get a real musician or learn how to write good music myself, which I don't know if that's ever going to happen. So, yeah. So I'm just going to debug this a little bit to see what's up. And then I think if I can fix it real quick. Okay, so detecting that I entered the spot. So that's good. So what is not working here? Yeah, I think like the smaller games, like I can work on this one for a long time, but I would like to get some games out. And it's been a while since I put anything out. So, I used to work at a couple different smaller game companies, and they never did anything too interesting as far as I'm concerned. So it would be cool to do something really that I think is good, because you know, aside from when Del Frickin' Tree and I were teenagers, we worked on a couple fun projects. But other than that, like, I don't think I've ever really put anything out that I think is awesome. I've done some awesome things in part that are like parts of some other things, if that makes sense. But don't mind me. I'm just checking something. Okay, is my stream still going? Okay, yeah, I was checking YouTube for a second. Just wasn't sure how to end the stream properly, so. Okay, well, I'm glad it's okay now. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it dropped a little bit. Alright. So, what are we doing? So, this map doesn't work. I don't know why. I'm going to have to take a closer look. Is it an audio delay, I think? Oh, weird, really? Alright, well, maybe... Is it better now? Test, 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 test. Tell me if it's better now. What am I even looking at right now? Alright, well, maybe that's a good place to call it, because I'm going to have to look at this closer anyway. Thanks. I know we had a small group here, but thanks to everyone that watched. And I plan to make this a regular thing, so we'll do this again, maybe next week or the week after, and we'll get it so it's at least a weekly thing. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I'll be in touch, everyone. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you later. Take care.